Greetings ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sam's Perspective. As the founding members of the Justice League become older and time skips keep hitting the show every season, the young Justice heroes need to step up to the mantle sometime soon and transition from sidekicks to their own heroes.
It seems to me that what you folks need is a hero.
It's time to see if they can rival and replace their mentors. Will they prove to be a better version of the original or a weak imitation? Now, let's get started. Superboy vs. Superman. Now before you place your bets on Superman, the fight could be closer than you think.
Time to bluff my way to victory.
We all know that Superboy sadly lacks some of the great abilities of Superman with his mixed human DNA, but in theory that should enable him to withstand the side effects of kryptonite slightly better. I say slightly because the few times we've seen him around the stuff, he pretty much gets knocked out just as fast, but that still makes it a viable option.
Do it!
Speaking of things to use, the shields that were developed by Lex are another option that could probably be developed again if needed. Although it makes him go crazy, the full powers of Superman totally make it worth it. Sadly, even with these tools and tactics, Superman would still probably beat Connor without much trouble. So 1 point goes to the heroes. Miss Martian vs. Manhunter. Now, unlike Superboy, she definitely has the power to back herself up and then some, being confirmed that she is likely one of the strongest psychics in the world and proving it by defeating anyone with similar abilities. The only things that have held her back was her lack of experience and immaturity, but we can safely say that isn't an issue anymore. Throughout the series, she has not only demonstrated to have mastered her psychic abilities, but also shape-shifting, phasing, telekinesis, and invisibility. John would likely be close, but with a massive lead in Megan's psychic powers, I'll have to give the point to the Sidekicks. Zatanna vs. Dr. Fate. Although Dr. Fate is technically not her father or teacher, with the mask being impossible to remove, I've considered them to be the same person. Now back to the fight. Zatanna has proven herself to be one of the strongest magicians in the Young Justice universe. She has accomplished many feats such as helping Blue Beetle escape mind control by communicating to deities and surviving several fights with a Lord of Chaos. This was all accomplished because Zatanna can pretty much do anything by saying a mantra in reverse, such as moving objects, teleportation, controlling the elements, and more. Sadly, even with all these accomplishments, she is still not on the same level as Dr. Fate. First off, although she has shown to have the ability to use Fate's spells, she gets exhausted after using it only once. The other reason is that Zatanna doesn't have the ability to remove the mask, which is likely a representation of the power difference between the two. Although the heroes get the point for now, I can see Zatanna getting stronger in the future. Impulse vs. the Flash. Who doesn't love our time-traveling speedster that's already saved the planet once?
Limbo time!
Unlike Wally, Impulse has shown to have the same level of speed and abilities as the current Flash, such as phasing, perceiving time slower, and speed healing. However, unlike Barry, Impulse is likely smarter as he is from the future and had the intelligence to build a time machine. He's able to make harder decisions and matured much more quickly due to his tough upbringing and the death of Wally. When taking these points into consideration, I would have to give the match a tie and award both teams a point. Although Barry is more experienced, Impulse makes up for it with his incredible intellect, which could prove to be more useful in certain scenarios. Wonder Girl vs. Wonder Woman. Cassie is the fun, badass girl that we all wanted as she's carefree, loves to fight with all the amazing powers of Wonder Woman. She has not only been training with Diana for multiple years, but also has the blood of Zeus, which makes her a demigod. Strangely enough, even with a god and one of the strongest heroes in her corner, she has one of the worst win rates out of all the heroes, losing against almost every villain she has faced, such as Lobo, Black Beetle, and once to Devastation, to name a few. With all these losses, maybe Cassie needs some more training before she can take on Diana, which is why Wonder Woman takes the round. Nightwing vs. Batman, arguably two of the most capable human superheroes in Young Justice. Batman technically has multiple students, but since the screen time for them is dramatically less, the only accurate review we can have is Nightwing. Nightwing has grown into a great hero under the tutelage of Bruce, developing his own fighting style, code, and leadership skills. However, Bruce has trained with several masters, giving him a deeper understanding of martial arts and weaponry. In intelligence, Nightwing seems to be comparable as he can hack most systems without an issue, understand advanced tech, and modify existing technologies. Sadly, Nightwing would probably still lose as Batman has more options through the use of his utility belt and dozens of martial arts styles. He is known to always have a contingency plan, so I wouldn't be surprised if he had one just in case Nightwing ever went rogue. So I'll have to give the round to Batman. Aqualad vs. Aquaman. Now I understand why a lot of people hate Aquaman, but he's definitely a powerhouse with his super strength, the ability to commune with animals, and super durability. Calder is the only one on this list that has actually replaced his mentor as Orin retired in Season 3 and passed on his responsibilities. In that action, it shows that Calder has already gained the trust and recognition of his abilities and leadership. Calder has almost all of the abilities of his predecessor, but also adds upon it with his skills in magic, being able to control water and electricity. He's pretty much a supercharged waterbender. Taking that into consideration, the Sidekicks definitely get the point, as he's not only worthy of being the second Aquaman, but arguably even better than the original. To conclude, the Sidekicks sadly lose with a score of 3-5, but a lot of those matches may have been closer than you thought. In future seasons, I can totally see a lot of these characters potentially getting stronger, especially if the writers go crazy with it. I mean, who wouldn't want to see a Green Lantern Nightwing? Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't be afraid to include your opinions down below.